When my boss, Mr. Kareem, called me into his office that morning, I thought it was just another field assignment. His tone was calm, but the stillness in his eyes unsettled me. "Marie," he said, "there's a story waiting for you in a place called the Woods. They say the people there have never been touched by civilization. No cameras, no visitors. I want you to document them, tell their story." He paused, fingers tapping lightly on his desk. "You'll be going with Daniel. He'll handle the visuals." I hesitated. "How far is it?" Mr. Kareem smiled faintly. "Far enough to test your courage. But that's what makes it special. You'll come back with something no one else has." I should have known then that coming back wasn't guaranteed. David drove me to the airport the next morning. The city was still half asleep. Streets washed pale with dawn, the smell of wet dust rising after a night of rain. He didn't talk much, just kept his hand over mine on the gear lever. When we reached the gate, he turned to me. His eyes were tired, but kind. "Promise me you'll be careful." "I'll be fine," I said, though my voice trembled a little. He smiled, then leaned in and kissed my forehead. "I'll be waiting," he whispered. It felt like a goodbye that stretched longer than it should have. Daniel met me when I arrived. Tall, easygoing, the kind of colleague who could laugh through a thunderstorm. The driver stopped at the mouth of a narrow trail and refused to go further. "From here," he said, "you walk. I don't wait." The forest swallowed us whole. The air grew heavy and still, the light thinning into streaks of gold filtered through branches. Every step we took made the world quieter. Even the insects held their breath. When we finally arrived, the villagers didn't smile. Their faces were painted with earth and ash, their eyes dark and unwavering. They spoke in a language neither of us could place. That night I couldn't sleep. Daniel was pacing. The walls of the hut seemed too thin, the air too still. Then I heard it, a low hum, faint but clear. That night, the hum returned, louder, closer, and this time, I saw them. Figures, pale, distant, gliding between the trees. Their robes looked white in the moonlight, their movements too synchronized to be random. They weren't celebrating, they were searching. For us. We ran before dawn. No bags, no cameras, no directions. The path vanished behind us within minutes. Every turn led back into the same maze of trees. The forest seemed alive, breathing, watching. We drank from muddy streams, tried to follow the sunlight, but even that felt uncertain. Sometimes we heard voices, faint, calling our names, but when we turned, there was nothing there. Daniel's leg began to bleed from a deep cut he didn't remember getting. By the second day, his breathing grew shallow. He told me he was fine, but I could see the tremor in his hands. On the third day, he stopped walking. We sat under a dying tree, the sound of flies buzzing faintly around us. I held his hand, told him we'd find a way out. He nodded weakly, eyes distant. I fell asleep against the tree trunk. When I woke, Daniel was gone. No trace, no footprints. Just his camera bag beside me. I screamed until my throat tore, but the sound went nowhere. The forest absorbed it. After that, I stopped counting time. I walked until my feet blistered, slept when exhaustion claimed me. The hunger dulled everything. When I woke the next morning, the forest was still. No hum, no whispers, nothing. That was how I knew I had crossed whatever boundary separated their world from mine. By evening, I reached a narrow road. The first sound I heard was the faint hum of a motorbike.